In the wild beauty of the Carpathians that spread across Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Ukraine, nature used to tell the most amazing stories. Long ago, when the lands of man and those of animals still had separate boundaries, the Carpathian biodiversity was legendary worldwide. Today, what was once peaceful cohabitation between man and nature has turned into a continuous modernization process and a fight for ecological survival. Here, large carnivores such as the wolf, brown bear, and the Eurasian lynx struggle in keeping their habitats as a need for survival. With their existence endangered by the life of modern man, it has become more critical than ever to ensure the protection of ecological corridors that can give these species access to their rightful territories and resources. The wildlife of the Carpathians has a unique beauty and is surrounded by amazing cultural heritage and influences. As we separate territories into those that belong to man and those that belong to nature, we often fail to understand that they can create amazing ecosystems and ways of life together. Nevertheless, presently, borders are still instruments used by governments so that nature and community might exist. As you take a stroll through the mesmerizing natural landscapes of Romania, Slovakia, Ukraine, or Hungary, it's easy to observe how each of them has its own charm, specificities, and rules. The keystone species found here are now challenged by landscape fragmentation and modern developments that have left them conveying their existence in small patches of land. What was once a safe haven for wolves and their pack is now a human-animal conflict zone most often. The brown bear struggles to find mates and food, or even shelter once the cubs appear. And it's not any different for the Eurasian lynx either. As each species finds it harder to sustain life, the communities around them keep developing on pieces of land that once belonged to nature and its fauna. Animals are often forced to migrate through unsafe pieces of land in their search of their own suitable territories, but end up under cars or hunted down by poachers. The restoration of natural ecosystems and creating new safe havens is now imperative. The grey wolf was once widespread throughout Eurasia and is one of the largest types of canines. In areas with dense human activities, they are forced to live off livestock or garbage found nearby. In the matter of the brown bear species, Romania holds the largest number in Europe, close to 6,000. Bears are iconic European species that are world-renowned. Bears need specific environments to breed, and without natural corridors accessible for them, it becomes a challenge for them to find mates and sustain life as their nature asks of them. The Eurasian lynx, another endangered species in the Carpathian area, has the same fate as the wolf or brown bear. Their natural habitat is shrinking, and conflicts with local communities emerge. As relevant legislation is not sufficiently enforced and may not stop or reverse this process, finding alternative solutions is essential for their future and existence, as well as for ours as society. Each land from the ecological corridor in the Carpathian is different. It has its own biodiversity and specificities and holds different types of flora and fauna. Different types of forests can fulfill these endangered species' needs only if they are made accessible for them. An ecological corridor can provide them safe passage needed to reach lands where their existence can continue unbothered and unthreatened by the human world. Animals only started migrating towards communities pushed by hunger and a real need to find territories of their own, but their existence is vital to the natural life that surrounds these communities. Communities from Hungary, Slovakia, Romania and Ukraine live in these beautiful natural oases and get inspired by the nature near them, and translate these influences into local culture or crafts that hold the essence of these places. Natural values may provide economic income to communities, and ecotourism is one example of such a type. You can explore for days beautiful villages and take in the landscapes, community life and their way of living, find peace inside local churches or flowery meadows, and be only a walk away from the nearby natural surroundings. Each of these areas has an amazing potential for tourism, which can further ensure an economic flow that can aid locals and their local lands alike. Ensuring a harmonious land partition will give extra power to these communities, both human and animal, to develop their existence further. Nature and wildlife can bring people many benefits as well: recreation and income-generating activities via ecotourism, wildlife observation. Many tourists choose the Carpathian landscape as a place of natural beauty and recharge. The communities at the foundation of it can provide amazing tourist experiences, from local traditions to crafts, cuisine, and, most important, the natural beauty of their lands. This harmonious coexistence between man and animal holds the key to this development. As conflicts between wild animals and local communities occur more and more often, solutions must appear to resolve them. The Carpathian Mountains include one of the largest remaining continuous forest ecosystems in Europe, and they are of outstanding conservation value. Local ecological initiatives bring more awareness and solutions to this war of lands, but it is not enough to ensure the long-term existence of these species. Natural corridors must be maintained or recreated so that ecosystems can provide animals with what they need: clear air, clean water, and a high-quality natural food. Pasture or forest edge reforestation in countries such as Romania or Ukraine are vital measures in order to improve the quality of food for wildlife, preserve the mosaic landscape, as well as mitigate human-wildlife conflicts. Education stands at the foundation of our development as a healthy society. This is a key message of our journey. With education, it all starts. Youngsters from the project area came together to learn about nature and its needs, about wildlife species, and how there should be an equilibrium between taking from and giving to nature, so that all species may flourish. Only a resilient nature is able to sustain the generations to come. It is in our power to change attitudes towards being more caring for nature, and therefore we must act responsibly, together, here and now, for ourselves and for future generations. Creating and protecting these much-needed ecological networks can preserve and increase biodiversity in each area, so that wildlife as well as communities may grow. But in the end, it's only through cross-border cooperation on the Carpathian Line and beyond that we can ensure these species benefit from a healthy existence while the communities around them thrive on social economic opportunities. Identifying, ensuring and protecting together wildlife corridors and connected habitats will help animal life and local communities bloom and flourish, so that nature can keep renewing itself and grow life further.